Hi, good morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. Welcome to the Land Pre MBA Opportunities in 2025 webinar. My name is Tomola Biodun. I'm also known as Anu, and I will be working on this webinar with you, or I will be coaching you today. This is a webinar, but it's basically very interactive. So please feel free to raise your hands and also use the chat box. If you're not able to use the chat box, there is an option for you to ask questions, I believe, but I think most people are able to use the chat box. So please make sure you use the chat box to ask any questions that you might have. I am recording this session. That means for everybody that registered using the link to the webinar, they will be getting an email with the recording of the session. Okay. So for most people here, I know a few people, and but I don't know a whole lot of people. So I would be taking you through the little pains of introducing Titanal Consulting and who I am and what we do, so you have a background and an understanding of who we are and why we exist. And if you have any questions, once again, please make sure that you put your questions in the chat box. So my name is Tomla, like I said. My day job is working as a senior technical product manager at Microsoft in our Microsoft security organization. And I graduated from my MBA at the Ohio State University Fisher College of Business in 2019. It will be 6 years this year I graduated, and it will be 8 years I got to the US this year. So it's been a minute, it's been a while, and I would say that things have really changed. The landscape has evolved, but it's been interesting so far, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to speak with you all. Apart from my, congrats on applying to Fisher, Beth. Apart from my day job at Microsoft, my would I say 5 to 9 is Titanal Consulting and my weekend work. I'm very passionate about the work that we do at Titanal Consulting, and I'm very grateful for my Titanal Consulting team for being able to support and help us live through this vision. Apart from all of these things, I love going to the gym, not because I'm not any of those gym people that you guys see on Instagram. No, I just love classes a whole lot. I love the entire instruction aspect of it. So I'm a very avid user of ClassPass. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but maybe to pick like different classes that I go to almost every day, and it kind of makes me happy. I only went to two classes this last week anyway, so it's not like I go 7 days a week. So, a little bit about why Titanal Consulting exists. So, my story, my journey to Microsoft, my MBA journey, everything, and also my career journey while I was back home in Nigeria, everything inspired Titanal Consulting. While I was back home, I've always been the passionate person about career development, always going for all of these job assessments. And I did pass a lot of them, right? Because I mean, it's majorly about your quantitative knowledge, and math, English, quant, and verbal actually my strong suits. So it was easy for me to get through a lot of those assessments. So coming to the United States for my MBA, I thought it was going to be the same thing, like it's going to be similar, but oh, well, was I really, really surprised? It's really very different because here I had to hone in a lot of my storytelling skills, and nobody really told me that, oh, coming to the US for your MBA, it's just going to be all different because I thought, is it just like traveling abroad? Well, it's not. It's basically you uprooting yourself from something that is so familiar to you and replanting yourself in an area that is not familiar to you at all. And that's really, really tough. It takes a lot, a toll on you, mentally, structurally. And if you're not prepared readily from an academic standpoint and also from a behavioral and mental standpoint, you would struggle. So I did struggle a lot. And I would say that in my first year of the MBA program, I did not get a paid internship. Not because I didn't have interviews. I got a lot of interviews. I got Microsoft, I got Amgen, I got EY, I got all of the interviews that you could really think about. I got Zillow and I got Zillow and EY in my school. And for all of the other ones, I got them outside of my school. And I was even invited to final rounds outside of Seattle, but I still did not make outside of Columbus, Ohio, rather, but I still did not get the offers. And while that was really sad, I was fortunate enough to get like a startup to work with in the summer in Ohio, and that made me realize realized that, well, there's a lot of power in relationships because I was able to land it through a friend who was friends with the startup founder. And this period, this summer period in 2018, made me realize that I could not really sit down and wallow in self-pity. I needed to actually get up and say, okay, Tommy, what are the things that you did not do well? And how can you make sure that you do better in it in your second year? Mind you, in 2018, 2017, when I came to business school, business schools were not STEM designated. I think we had just like Rochester and University of Connecticut or something that was STEM. It wasn't the thing. Business schools weren't STEM designated, so it wasn't the thing. So it was basically a go big or go home situation. And I knew that, right? And I wasn't even worried, to be fair. That wasn't one of my problems. I know a lot of people panic about STEM. It's not one of my problems. If you get a good job, you'll be fine. And my goal is how exactly can I turn my losses to successes? And I started being really very aggressive, working with my peers. And I went back to the career services of my team to work aggressively with them because the school actually provided a very great platform. But did I use it? No. Did I know I was supposed to use it as much? Probably they put out a lot of those information out there, but was I diligent enough to go research the information? No. So I decided that I would do things very, very differently for myself. And I started working really aggressively with my career services team and also aggressively on my own. I made sure that I scheduled times for everything that I did, as little as you wake up at 7 a.m., you go to the gym, you go to class, everything was scheduled. I spent my time mostly in the libraries. I was with career services twice a week, and things really did turn around. I got 3 offers by December, and I got much more interviews, even much more than I got in my first year. And then that's when I realized that, oh, I was able to get like a second opportunity, but most people do not get second opportunities. A lot of people have just one opportunity in life. And what they make use of that opportunity actually determines the cost of their life and the cost of their future. So I decided that how do I ensure that people do not make the same mistakes that I have made? And how do I ensure that people with the only one opportunity are able to make the best of that one opportunity that they have? And that's why when I graduated in 2019, just before I started my role at Microsoft, I decided to start 13-hour consulting. Why the name is 13-hour consulting is a totally different ball game. It's a story for another day that I will not be sharing, but just know that the name actually has a strong meaning to the brand and to my vision. So that's why 13-hour consulting exists. So that's the backstory. But based off of what is here, we want to be like the plug that connects young people, professionals, people in their mid-level careers around the world to always be ready. The goal is I want you to always be ready for your next career or academic acceleration opportunity. There is nothing as bad as you getting an opportunity and you not being ready for it. Most people are not successful because they are not ready, not because some other person was, I mean, the other person that was better than them that was chosen was probably ready. But you cannot necessarily be ready when you get the opportunity. You are supposed to be ready before you get the opportunity. And that's what our mission is, to help students and young professionals and your graduates tell their stories better, identify the opportunities for growth, and learn how to connect their past with their future. And once you are able to do that, it's easier for you to tap into opportunities in front of you and don't miss out of opportunities. I know a lot of people say things like, oh, if you don't get an opportunity right now, it probably wasn't for you. But I actually do not agree with that. There are a lot of opportunities that we have missed out on that were actually for us, but we missed out on them because we were not ready and we were not prepared. And the opportunity went to somebody that was ready and prepared. So how do you make sure that the next opportunity that you get, you don't miss out on it? Because sometimes some opportunities, it takes you a whole 1 year to get that chance back. Sometimes you never get the opportunities again. You really never do. So it's very, very important that you work aggressively to be able to do that. And that's why we exist. When people reach out and say, oh, I want to talk to an agent, I'm not an agent. I don't have that time. I'm a coach. I'm like a teacher, right? And an aggressive one at that. I know today my voice sounds really down and maybe very low. And I'm like, oh, is this girl calm? No, I am not calm. I'm a teacher that holds your hand really, really sternly because I strongly believe in people putting in a lot of work to what they want to achieve. And I don't want people lagging behind because once you do that, you have wasted your time. And how many years really do you have to live in this world that you're wasting years and years trying to do something that you could have done right the first time? So, summary of why we exist. Now, Titanic Consulting is divided into two main areas, graduate admissions consulting and graduate career consulting. We also do career consulting for middle-level professionals and other professionals, but those are our two focus areas. Within the graduate admissions consulting, we focus primarily on MBAs, but we've been able to help people in other graduate business programs and PhD programs, depending on the program. Now, for the purpose of the webinar for today, we are focusing on graduate admissions, particularly graduate admissions for incoming MBA students or Masters in Business students. If you fall into any other category, it's fine, it's okay. Please stay on the call. You are still going to learn a whole lot. And then you can just send me an email and then I can direct as appropriate and let you know what we have that can suit you really well. So these are just like a few of our success stories, the schools that our clients have gotten admissions offers at, companies that our clients have gotten job offers at. We've had over 200 job offers, 200, 250 in the last 5.5 years. Same for graduate school admissions across top 10 to top 50 to top 100. Like we have students almost everywhere. So we have a very, very large footprint. And we hope that our ambassadors are actually doing us proud in all of the areas and all of the places that they are currently. So just a few of our success stories. We offer one-on-one and group coaching, admissions coaching to take you through all steps of the process. That's if you're interested in graduate coaching services. For our clients that got into school in the last cycle, 80% were able to get full rides for those that got into school, and 100% got between 50 to 100% scholarship. So we have students that once you get into school, at least you get some form of scholarship. And then for the last fall, this is supposed to be last fall, because not this fall, last fall, 70% got MBA internship interviews by the fall. So they got MBA internship interviews, not offers yet, but interviews, which is way ahead of their peers when it comes to interview preparations. And that's why you're all here today. So internship recruiting 101. I want to believe that most people here either already applied to business school or they are applying in the second round. The second round, or maybe applied in February, or they already got admitted to business school. Please give me a minute. Yeah, so I believe that most people here already applied to business school, already got admitted to business school, or you plan to be applying in any round right now between now and February. If not, this is still very good information for you. And maybe you're thinking, you're considering, oh, do I put in my application? Yes or not? It's still something that you can consider. So very good. Congratulations on your admission. So first of all, what are internships? A lot of people always ask these questions about, oh, internships. Most people don't even know the structure. Now, internships are jobs that you get between your first year of the MBA program and your second year of the MBA program. So the MBA program typically for a lot of schools is 2 years. So that means you start your program in August, July, between July and September, and you are done by May, June. So between May, June, July, August is the summer, and the internship is done during the summer. Right, that's it. Now, for you to be eligible for an internship, I mean, if you're a domestic candidate, meaning if you're in the US or you're in Canada or in the United Kingdom and you're a domestic candidate, you don't have any requirements, right? When I mean requirement, you don't have any visa requirements. But if you're an international student, particularly an international student in the United States, you're required to have at least had one semester complete. So if you've had one semester complete, that's fantastic. And for most of you, you will have one semester complete by May, June, July next year. So everything I'm teaching right now is for opportunities for May, June, July next year. And it's important because when it comes to internships, you're supposed to prepare for it a year in advance. So when I hear people say that, oh, I have an internship that I should be interning in between May and July, and they reach out to me in January, and I'm wondering what miracle exactly is supposed to happen between January and May, because your peers already got offers or they're already far along in the process. So you starting your process in January is a little late. Not impossible, but quite late, right? Especially right now with the current landscape, it's actually quite late, but not impossible at all, right? So that's kind of how it works. Now, internship falls under something called university recruiting. And I want to debunk some myths on university recruiting because a lot of people think university recruiting is what it's not. Now, university recruiting is not companies coming to your school. No, that is an aspect of university recruiting, but that is not what university recruiting is. University recruiting is a program that companies on their own have within their human resource management department or the human resource management teams. So it is I would say the ability, or it is the program that actually hires university graduates and current students across bachelor's, master's, PhD, MBA, and any other degree that is being offered in the universities. So university recruiting program, that is what it is. Now, for university recruiting programs, companies do a whole lot of stuff to attract university recruiting hires. And a huge part of it is internship opportunities, then full-time opportunities. Now, they do normally by posting these opportunities online. Now, some organizations now go through the next hurdle by going to visit universities to actually pitch themselves to attract talent. So when they come to your school, they're trying to attract talent. So when some schools say that, oh, we have these companies come to our school, yes, that is a form of attracting talent, but that is not all the company does. The companies do not just go and only take people from certain schools. No, they open it out. They have general applications, and most of my offers were from general applications that I got, right, in companies that people felt like, oh, they didn't come to your school, so they won't hire. That's not true. That's a lie. That's an absolute ridiculous lie. However, yes, companies do come to your school. And depending on the industry that you want to go into, there's some industries that, yes, a lot of companies prioritize going to schools because they don't want to hire a lot of people. There's some companies that want to hire just 2 people in the entire country. They're not going to open the application just far and wide. But there are companies that want to hire 150 and 200 people, like a lot of the tech companies. Of course, yes, they put the applications far and wide and they make it as I would say as inclusive as possible to make sure they attract talent from different types of schools. So that's what university recruiting is. And when it comes to university recruiting, you start university recruiting a year before you get in. Now, there is something else called Pre MBA opportunities. And a lot of times people mistake, oh, what Pre MBA opportunities are. Is it before you get into the program? Is it even before you get start your application? No. Pre MBA opportunities are opportunities available to people that already were admitted to the MBA programs, but they are not enrolled yet, meaning they have not started their classes or their semester yet. Now, there are huge opportunities for you as an incoming graduate student to tap into Pre MBA opportunities, especially if you're a diverse candidate. And I know we have a whole lot of questions about, oh, diversity and the current economic and political landscape. If you have that question, I don't have an answer. We're just going to be looking at it. Like the way I'm looking at it is the way you're also looking at it. But one thing I always tell people is, why are you bothered about something you can't change? Are you going to change the economic or the political landscape? No. So just do what you can do. Like worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, it's not going to change what's going to happen tomorrow. So I'm not going to be bothered about that anyways. I'm just going to make sure that I am doing my very best to be informed and preparing ahead of opportunities. If the opportunities change, yes, I would evolve myself with that change, but I'm not going to bother myself with something that's happening tomorrow or some change that's going to happen in 2 weeks' time. How exactly is that going to affect the course of my life? Maybe a lot, but what can I do about it? Nothing. So anything you cannot do anything about, remove it from the list of your worries because you literally cannot do anything about it anyways. So I don't have any answers to any political questions. I'm just telling you that in advance, just in case you want to ask me about it. I don't know. I have no information about it. Right. Now, for the Pre MBA opportunities, particularly if you are a diverse candidate, there are so many opportunities for you because a lot of these opportunities open up in between Feb and June. In fact, right now there's an opportunity called Toigo that is currently open. It opened in December for people that are in the finance space. So those opportunities are opened way in advance. I've had clients that have gotten offers in May, June, July before they even stepped foot on campus. So imagine you getting an offer way before you step foot on campus. It allows you become, I would say, increases your confidence level because the MBA program, I'm not going to lie to you, is very hard. And a lot of people feel like, oh, I already got admitted. I got the timetable. I'm going to be closing at 12 noon. It is not chill. First of all, your professors in the first semester are going to act like they want to kill you. And you might think they want to. Most times people will feel like, why am I even here? I think I was having a good life in my country. And I know a lot of you might be like, I don't think I'll feel that way. You will feel that way, trust me, because it's really, 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 really intense. So if that is really very intense, what's better than actually you getting a job offer before you actually get into business school, or at least gaining a whole lot of traction? So that's where the pre-MBA opportunities come in. So we have for investment banking a lot, we have for consulting, and there are some general management programs for students that do not require work authorization. I know not everybody requires work authorization here, right? And then for the tech companies, sometimes they have pre-MBA, sometimes they don't, and sometimes they have early recruiting. So early recruiting is not exactly pre-MBA. I mean, that means you might get your interviews in August, September, but you're getting your offers early enough, earlier than most people, and you're going to be able to be at peace by October, November, when a lot of your peers are still even struggling to find their feet. Now, there is some part of pre-MBA internships that people wonder, do I need to have work authorization before I get into my program as an international student? If you're an international student, I would say the answer is no. Now, these offers that I've told you about, like the consulting, the banking, the tech, they are for 2026. So I believe you guys are getting in now. They are for 2026 summer. However, there are a few opportunities that are 2 weeks before you start school. Those are literally pre-MBA opportunities. So you are working for 2 weeks before you get into school. For a lot of those, you're not eligible. They are mostly for people that have permanent work authorization if you're in the United States. If you're in another country, it might be something else. So I don't know, you might have to do that research, or if you reach out to me, I can do some investigation for you. And those ones are majorly a few consulting positions. So those are ones where you work for 2 weeks or for 3 weeks, and some even have some finance roles like that. Now, we have things that are like, I won't call them webinars, I'll call them like workshops and conferences that are available for people before they even get into business school. Yes. Like, for example, if you get into like Bain Base, for example, or I think BCG Unlock, they can invite you for like maybe a week-long session, I don't know, a few days. Those are, yes, as an international student, you're eligible for things like that. So all of those opportunities do come up and are available, right? So that's just like the summary of the pre-MBA, internship, recruiting, and everything like that. Please make sure that you put yourself on mute. Thank you, to respect everybody here. So please make sure to put yourself on mute, right? Thank you. So giving an overview of what everything is about from an internship perspective and pre-MBA, I will go into how exactly you should achieve success. And this is where you should put your questions in the chat box if you want to. So first, you need to understand your academic requirements. The MBA program is not a joke. And I'm not here to scare you, but a lot of people in the last couple of years have dropped out from MBA programs because they were not mentally prepared. It's not a joke. If you're a domestic student and you're already schooled in the country that you're currently doing your MBA, maybe you did your undergrad or you did a particular master's, that's fantastic. You already have an idea of what the academic requirements are, the fact that you have to read a lot of cases with hundreds of pages every week before you come to class, the fact that you have to work in groups, the fact that you sometimes 12 midnight, 1 a.m. you are in class with your classmates trying to complete assignments. I think you already have an idea of that. If you're an international student, please know that the MBA program is not an escape from your country. If you think it's an escape from your country, you are going to be met by a very, very rude shock and awakening. So if that's your plan, you better don't even do it because it's very tough and I'm not going to lie to you. And that's when I speak to a lot of students, they're like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm drowning. I didn't know. It was like, do you think it's a joke? Do you think it's like, oh, it's a tea party that we're all having here? No, it is not a joke, especially if you're coming to the United States. It's not a joke. It's a go big or go home situation, literally. And if you're not ready to put in your very best, and if you're just trying to get here to escape the problems that you think you're having, then you're going to have much more problems than you think you already have right now. And that's just what the reality is. So this place is not for jokes at all. And working with me is even maybe worse than even being in business school because I don't even take any jokes at all. Right. So you need to know that you're sacrificing a lot and it's going to be a whole lot. So you're going to read cases, hundreds of cases. So this is not a time for you to think that, oh man, business is going to catch up in a lot of series. You won't catch up on a lot of anything. Right. So you need to understand a lot of your academic requirements. And one thing, especially when it comes to building your confidence, is also to do well academically. You don't want to be the person where they're going to put on academic probation or the professors are having conversations with you about how you are doing really, really badly. For schools that have CGPAs, yes, I know your scholarship says you need to have 3/4, but for people even without scholarships, you need to have 3/4. If you have less than that, they're going to boot you out of the program because it's not a joke. Right? So this is where people tell me things like, oh, I've never seen this quant thing before. I've never seen this accounting. Oh, well, you have from now till August to deal with that. So you need to start doing research. How can I get myself on top of this thing academically so I do not struggle academically? How can I get myself on top of economics? How can I get myself on top of accounting? And they don't expect that you know all of those things because, I mean, most people in your class do not. But do you attend all of your classes? I hear a lot of people right now skip classes. That is totally unacceptable behavior, and you are not allowed to do that. So do you attend all of your classes? Do you attend all of your there's this thing that they do, like they have like professor office hours. Attend all professors' office hours. Attend the office hours of the GAs. Right? Always come with your questions. And always be in school. Literally always be in school. There's nothing you're going to do inside your house. Nothing. Because a lot of times, nothing. And I'm not going to throw people under the bus here. I'm not saying you should not be religious. Please be. I am. But this is not a time for you to start forming religious associations in the MBA program. Is that why you are in the program? And I'm saying this because that's what a lot of your seniors have done. And they struggle so much. And that's why they fail. I'm not saying you should not go to any week, but why are you committing yourself to 10 hours of religious activities on Saturdays and on Sundays? For what? I'm confused. Why are you trying to be a deaconess? Like, is that your reason why you are here? I have conversations with people and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I cannot join your program because I'm an active participant in the church on Sundays. I'm like, are you really for real? You cannot be. Maybe something else is going on with you. But are you for real? For real? No, you can't be for real. So if that's your mindset, you need to kill it and make it dead from the beginning. If not, you're going to struggle. And I'm not going to lie. And the reason a lot of them do struggle, you're not going to come back to me your second year and say, oh, I wish I listened to you. I don't want that to be your case. I really don't. Whether or not you use the hairstyle program or use that in our consulting, I need you to know that you need to be focused on what you should be focused on. If not, you will struggle. That's the first thing. The second thing is you need to be very aware of imposter syndrome, right? You are all very smart people. for you, or you're coming to business school, if you have already got admitted to business school, there are going to be other smart people in your class. So yes, you're going to feel like an imposter a lot, even from orientation, even before class starts. From orientation, you're going to feel like an imposter. You're going to feel everything. But you need to be aware that a lot of people feel that way. They feel like imposters. What can you do to make sure that you overcome imposter syndrome? The first thing is you need to be prepared. Now, there's something about you being prepared and you being seen as prepared that builds your confidence. So if you're prepared for every class and you go in for a class, and when you go in for the class, the professor asks a question, you answer the first time, you answer the second time, and then you're also able to help your peers answer a question, your confidence builds up. But if the first few times you're asked questions, you don't know, your confidence goes really down, and then you really start to say, I am actually really an imposter. So your confidence level building is very, 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 very important. So you need to be able to build your confidence. And the best way to build your confidence is by preparing and structuring yourself and not leaving things to chance. I'm not saying you should not participate in activities in school. I'm not, because some people go and quote me and say, oh, Toby wants us to be demons now. That's not what I said. Please. It's okay. But you need to make sure that you prioritize your time really well. And there are a lot of things in the school also. Try to go out for walks, try to do things that are not just you cooking yourself up in your room or your if you do that, then all of the imposter syndrome starts to fester a whole lot and then you struggle too much. Now, before I talk about this part, still under imposter syndrome is seasonal depression. For some of you, you are going to places that are very warm. So good for you. Yeah, all of you going to Arizona and places like that. But the rest of us that schooled on the East Coast and the Midwest, it gets really cold. And when it gets very cold, you now start thinking about your family members. You start thinking about people that offended you years ago. Trust me, trust me. I know this sounds really very funny because if you're an international student, right, the entire thing is strange to you. And a lot of international students actually think they don't have mental issues, but they do. The only reason why they have not really showcased it is because they are living in countries where they need to eat first before they start showcasing any mental issues tendencies. And when I mean mental issues, I'm not saying that you're mad. No, I just mean that people just have issues, right? As little as anxiety, depression, or whatever scale it is. You being an international student in the US is going to exacerbate the situation way more than you are experiencing it right now. It's going to be very exacerbated. So you need to be very, very aware and do things that would help you curtail that so you reduce the mental strain on yourself. And all of your schools, I can tell you for a fact, have student health services that have mental health services that are even targeted to international students if you're an international student. If you're a domestic student, especially if you come from like a different background that is not the businesses, right, or something really very technical, you're building a new community. So it's really very stressful. So please go to student health services. I always do that. Like everybody needs like a therapy. So just go and go to student health services because if you're not okay mentally, there is nothing that I can tell you that your professors are going to tell you, that your career service is going to tell you that is going to make any difference or is going to make any, it's not, there's nothing that's going to make any difference. That's the reality. And if you struggle mentally, no matter how much I push you, you can't push yourself. So you need to be able to get your mental struggles in place first, right? Very important. Now, you need to be able to define your job search strategy. Definition of your job search strategy is very, very key. And that's like the basis of what my program that I'm going to be talking about that's the basis of the program, basically. So you need to have an application strategy, you need to have a resume strategy, you need to have a networking strategy, and you need to have an interviewing strategy. And your job search strategy shouldn't only be defined, you need to actively work, right, to fulfill everything in the strategy. You need to define, this is my strategy. You need to work towards the strategy. You need to assess if this strategy actually works part time, right? You need to rate yourself, rank yourself, and you need to know when to go back and iterate and update your strategy. It's very, very important. A lot of people don't have any job search strategy and they just come into the program and just waiting for things to happen to them. If that's what you are, waiting for things to happen to you, things will happen to you, but they're not going to be good things if you ask me, and I'm not going to lie to you. Right? If you don't have any strategy defined, things will happen and they will not be good. So if you want good things to happen to you, you are going to have to define your job search strategy and work aggressively to make sure that you achieve everything in your job search strategy, and also be open, right? And be humble enough to know that my job search strategy is not working for me right now. How can I go back and update my strategy and actually seek help to make sure that I achieve success? Very, very important that you are able to do that. And then you have to create structure. A lot of us live very unstructured lives, and some people can do that. I personally cannot. For example, I don't have to go to work every day. I think I don't even have to go to work every day. There are people in my team that don't come to work every day. I mean, we have to live in the Seattle area for my team, but I don't have to go to work every day. I put that I will go in 3 times a week, but I go in a lot of times, 5 times. And if I had my way, I would go to the library on Saturdays, not because I am a nerd. I'm not. Basically, I'm not. But if I want to get something done, I want it to be done in a structured environment. There are some of you that have been able to achieve success by reading on your bed. I am not one of those people. Whatever I can read on my bed has to be like a novel, not something that I am studying. If I have to study something, then I have to be in a place that would support me studying and assimilating. So, what kind of person are you? And if you think, oh, I can always go to my bed, like the weather is cold, like you would sleep, you are going to doze off. So why don't you create proper structures in place that for everything that you do, even if, oh, I need to go to this religious event, I need to go to, which is totally fine. I always used to go to Bible study on Fridays, Friday evenings with this particular, it was amazing anyways. I don't want to talk about it. I'll take all of your time. But I put everything on my calendar. It was like 7 to like 10, and it was really great because it allowed me to meet other people from other cultures, right? It was not a Nigerian thing, no. And that's a conversation for another day. So no, it was not. It was a Ohio, it was an Ohio thing. So yes. And little things like, oh, I want to go to see the movie once a week. I want to go once in 2 weeks. I want to go to this yoga class on my calendar. I am leaving public library at 11 p.m. on my calendar. Like everything has a structure. Oh, I spend 1 hour every week to look through my resume, right, and evaluate. Oh, this resume, I submitted it to 20 applications this week. Am I getting any leads? Am I achieving success? How many rejections did I get? Do I need to update it? From my other strategy that is called broad strategy, which is me applying to other roles, a lot of roles, I do it every day for 1 hour. Am I on point for every application that has been published this week? Did I miss out anything? Or do I have a friend that got an interview in this company and I applied? Did I apply at the same time that he applied or that she applied? Did I do anything differently? That's an assessment. I create time for those things, right? And I did not really like, I, I'm not really a TV person, even though, yes, now I do watch a lot of TV because I'm just like, I'm so bored. What do I do with my time? It's so cold. I can't go outside. But then in business class, so I didn't have a TV. But I know that because I'm not a TV person, TV makes me sleep. Once I see any screen, I sleep once I'm at home. So I just stay outside. I get back at 11:30. I just turn on my TV, my laptop. I don't know, whatever show is in 20 minutes, I'm gone. Everything, as little as that, is on my calendar. You need to create a structure. If you don't create a structure and you live a life without structure, nothing will be achieved and you won't get anything done, right? So you know it's important to create a structure, and you need to create that structure from now, not in August. And then you need to attend a lot of diversity events. Like we'll be teaching you a lot about the diversity events in the Head Start program. Very important for you to attend a lot of diversity events. Very important, very, very, very necessary. We have Forte, we have Rumba, we have National Black, we have Prospanica. Those are like the top 4 diversity events, right? You will also have a lot of events in your school, which are just like networking events. Some of them are diversity networking events. Some of them are just general networking events, but you have a couple of them. And then you need to leverage pre MBA opportunities. Now, a lot of people feel, oh, well, I didn't get any pre MBA opportunity. But if you actually prepared like your life depends on it. Even if you don't get something, it has prepared you in advance for the internship opportunities that you would get. So you will be much better than your peers. Imagine getting into school and the first session that you have with your career services is already saying, this person is really prepared. You're already good. Like you already know what you're doing. It boosts your confidence, right? And it makes it easier for you to achieve success. You don't want to have the pain of regret. You don't want to have the pain of regret at all. The pain of discipline is always better than the pain of regret because there's nothing as bad as regretting opportunities that you could have had. A lot of people always say things like, oh, if I don't get it, that means it wasn't for me. And I said it at the beginning, it was for you. I'm not going to lie to you that it wasn't for you. It was for you. You played it out and you didn't get it because where you should have been putting in a lot of time and a lot of energy to get the work done, you prioritized other things that were not important. And that pain is very, very painful because it's not a pain of, oh, this thing just happened to me accidentally, or I know it's a pain of I knew that this thing was going to come. I didn't prepare. I failed at it. I don't want you feeling that pain because I have been there and it's pretty painful, right? And if you're already depressed, it just puts you under more depression. And I don't want you to feel that way at all. So I already did explain this university recruiting slide before we started all of this, right? So I need you to go through, I mean, you can just read it. I already explained the campus visits, on-campus interviews, and then things that you need for success. I think I already did explain that, so I'm not going to go deep into that. Now, I would be introducing the Head Start program before I open this up to a lot of questions. I know you all have questions, and I am going to be judging you because if you're all MBAs, your incoming MBAs, your prospective MBAs, and after this entire 45 minutes conversation, you don't have questions, I'm going to judge because this is just like an average half-hour class that you will get in business school. And I expect you to be having questions for your professors. I want you to be one of those annoying students that always raise your hands. Trust me, it's annoying, but it will just help you with your grades. Just trust me. So if you have not thought about questions now, between the next 5 minutes, think about the question that you would ask me. Just think about it. And I hope you are taking notes. It's very important that you think about the question that you ask me if you have not thought about it now. Please make sure that you think about it. So introducing the Head Start program. So the Titanour MBA Head Start program is a flagship program that is going to be in its, I believe this is our 50th year, 2021, 2020. Yeah, it's going to be, this is our 50th year of having the Head Start program. It's really interesting. It's a 6-week, 15 hours. So 2.5 hours every weekend. And that doesn't include the assignments that you're supposed to do. It doesn't. And I'm sure that a lot of people always used to say, this girl does not know that I have a job. I'm like, I don't know. Like, my job with you is to get the Head Start program complete and to help you get a job in your new country. So you have to do all of the things I've asked you to do, right? So the 6 weeks is very intense and it's designed to help incoming MBA students get the most out of their career portion of the MBA experience ahead of time, right? So the entire goal is ahead of time. A lot of times people don't even know what is expected of them. They don't know what success should look like. So it helps provide you with the necessary resources and the tools that you need to navigate your internship search, right? Before the start of the MBA program, so you can hit the ground running. I need you to get into school, even if you don't have your internship by August. By the time you get there, you're having a lot of interviews and it's rolling out. Like things are happening, right? And it's not just you getting interviews, because I've had a lot of people get interviews, but they're not converting them, which is another problem in the job search strategy, because a lot of people, they would get the application, the resume, the networking, but when it comes to interviewing, they struggle so much. And that's because interviewing is not easy. Trust me, I have failed plenty interviewing is not easy at all, right? Interviewing is a skill of presentation, one thing, and it's also a skill of content. A lot of us don't have content because I ask people, tell me about yourself. And they start telling me, oh, I'm the first child. What Passionate about that, man. Because I don't have anything to say about that. Tell me about yourself because I haven't practiced for it, right? So you need to prepare, you need to write down, you need to be very, 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 I would say, assertive and prepared for your interview. So people do struggle with that. And the interview part of it, out of the entire 15 hours, it takes more than 5 hours, especially from behavioral interviews to casing, 5, 6 hours. So it's very, very intense, if you ask me. And our Head Start program actually traditionally starts between February and June because we have different cohorts for the Head Start program. We actually do work with universities right now. So if you're interested in the Head Start program, and I know the university you are in, I can tell you that, oh, I'm already partnering with your school. You don't have to pay for the Head Start program, which a lot of people here would fall under. Not a lot. A few people that I already know will fall under that. At least I know one person here that she wouldn't have to pay for the Head Start program because her school is doing it for her. But for a lot of you all, you will have to like invest. And when it comes to that, because you have to invest in yourself, like I can't invest in people that won't invest in themselves. That's just what it is. So now these are the things that the Head Start program covers, right? You go through resume, cover letter, job search prep, networking coaching, Pre MBA internship opportunities evaluation and application coaching for your Pre MBA opportunities, storytelling and behavioral interview prep, especially as a diverse candidate or an international student or even a domestic candidate, how exactly do you tell your story that is more relatable in the business side? Some people are coming from like the pharmaceutical industries, from the medical sector, and a lot of their stories are not really businessy. So without lying, right, without cooking things up, how do you retell your story in a way that a business person will understand what you're saying and it's going to be very relatable? We work on communication presentation. We're going to do consulting and technical cases. We're going to have diversity conferences and coaching. We'll go through a post-MBA career path evaluation for everybody. And we're going to have a case competition and a networking event. Case competition is, I'm going to give you all cases. You're going to work on the case. You're going to present to me and we're going to get winners. And one thing about the entire Head Start program is I rank it like a class. So we have like first position. I literally do first position and last position. And I will share the class first and last every class. So it's up to you not to be last, right? I mean, it's up to you not to be last. So people are always last, but it's up to you not to be last, right? So that's it. Now, the add-ons is your resume will be finalized by a consultant. You get your cover letter finalized. You get an hour of mock interview with a consultant. That is one-on-one. So those are like one-on-one, like you're having this one-on-one with me or one of my consultants, in addition to it being a class. So the Head Start is a boot camp, basically. And it has between 10 to 25 people in every class, depending on the class structure, depending on the agreement. It could be more than that if it is for particular schools and educational institutions. So that's the registration link, the Head Start Bootcamp. And if you want to have like one-on-one conversations with me, or just want to ask me questions about the Head Start program, you can send me a message. If you're not affiliated with any of the schools that we're currently working with, your Head Start will be starting in around March. However, we have, if you're a finance person, I would strongly encourage you to apply to TOEIGO. If you're going to be a part of the Head Start program and you want some help with making sure that your TOEIGO application is really great, you can just reach out, reach out, and we can work with you ahead of starting the Head Start program because TOEIGO, I think TOEIGO's deadline is middle of March, which will be around when you'll be starting your Head Start program anyways. But for all of the other Pre MBA opportunities, it's happening like they start out in March. So this is the registration link. Please register if you're interested. We're working through the pricing, so we would be getting back to you, and then there will be discounts for people who register and who are actually on this webinar. So there'll be discounts for people that are on this webinar. So if you're attending this webinar, especially people that are actively participating, might have an opportunity to get more discount for the Head Start program. Now, please use the chat box to ask questions, but please, before you ask questions, if you want to, it's okay if you want to speak. And if you don't want to speak, you can just type your questions in the chat box. If you want to speak, please raise your hand. Don't just come off mute. Please raise your hand so that I can call on you. So use the chat box to ask your questions. So yes, this is the Toigo Fellowship. Toigo Fellowship ends March 15th, right? Now there's something that I did not really talk about. Technical Consulting has been able to come up with a pre-MBA list that has the list of all of the pre-MBA opportunities available for your set. That's class of 2027, right? So, and a lot of these opportunities are not open now, but this list is like, it's a dynamic list, so it keeps getting updated from our own end. So if you want to request for the list, we have a link here, which is the pre-MBA list, right? That is included in the chat box. So please we will include the link in the chat box. So if you request for our pre-MBA's list, we'll be sharing the pre-MBA's list with you within the next week or so. Please note that the list will be practically almost empty, not so empty, but practically almost empty, because Toigo is the only one that is there. So somebody asked about Toigo. It's like a fellowship program that finance firms actually, I think they partner with, or they actively get involved with, for people that are diverse individuals that want to do finance, right? So you have mentors, you have coaches. So if you're really, really interested in finance, I think it would be good for you to be a Toigo fellow, if that's your interest. It would be good for you to be a Toigo fellow. And I think the requirements for the Toigo fellowship, I think you have to pay to apply. I'm not sure. However, you have to pay to apply, so I'm not sure. However, I know that if you are from a maybe a third world country, or if your salary is below a particular amount of money, a particular amount of dollars or something, you can apply for a waiver for Toigo application, and you might be able to get a waiver. I am not sure about that. I don't know if it's Toigo or some other one, but you can send us a message and you can book a one-on-one session to ask more questions about the Toigo fellowship and other pre-MBA opportunities. After this call, my team will be including a link to schedule a one-on-one with me. You can feel free to do that. So, Union, you have your hand raised. Please feel free to ask your question.
Hi, Anu. Thank you so much for the
Hi.
session. It's
Hi.
been really insightful. Yeah, you already answered part of my question, which was I was going to ask you about where to find some of these pre-MBA opportunities as they start to roll out. But your link, I
Okay.
believe, would be updated as it happens. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that resource. So then my other question would be, are there other resources that we should look into in addition to the Head Start program? Any other resources that would help us get prepared for the pre-MBA and the MBA program? Thank you.
Yes, yeah, so great. So within the Pre-MBA Opportunities link, you have access to apply to some fellowships and some events like Point and Con. Some of those events are virtual events. We have some Jumpstart programs, Point and Cons. So those are also programs that will prepare you. They are not like 6 weeks, 15 hours intense programs, no, but they are things that will prepare you also way in advance. So once those program opportunities become available, you will also get links to actually apply to those programs too. Yeah.
Thank you very much. My last question would be, I wanted to know if Terry School of Business is partnering with Titan, just to know if we have a discount or something.
Well, yes, they are. So
Great
good
news.
for
Thank
you.
you very much.
So yeah, Terry is. So yeah.
Thanks, Anu. That's all.
Joseph, you're welcome. Joseph.
Okay, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Joseph.
Yeah. So my question is, thank you very much for your explanation for everything to expect and all that. I heard when you talked about how intense the program can be, like the MBA programs, when we like eventually get to the US, and are studying. And also, this Pre MBA opportunities, I believe, they open up chances for us to land an internship role during the beginning of our time in the US. So, do you reckon that it's going to be easy? Is it not easy per se? Like, do you think it to be manageable to like juggle both school work and internship tasks at the same time during the early periods of the studies? Or do you
Okay, so Joseph, you are breaking up, but I think where you must have made I don't know, maybe you joined late. So for the internship opportunities, it's not for now, it's for 2026 summer when you are actually on summer holiday. You are just getting it way in advance. So it's not for now. So yes, it's for your summer, right? So it's for next year between May and August. That's where you're going to have the internship opportunity. So it's not now. I don't know if did that answer your question, Joseph?
Yeah. It answers my question because
Yes.
I was thinking that we'll be doing it simultaneously with studies.
Oh, no. Your proper internships are 3 months between your first year and your second year.
Okay.
Yeah. Between your first year and your second year. Yeah. So Michael.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'm Michael. Okay, I would like to ask some question regarding this program. Firstly, for someone that may not be chance on Sunday, how can I participate in the program? Or there's nothing I can do than for me to just create time on Sunday. And also from friends that are already in the MBA school, they do tell us that maybe from maybe March this year, you can start looking out for the internship opportunity. Is it one of the benefits or one of the things I'll be able to benefit from this program? And for the program, is it also that will it also contain the academic teachings, or is it just for all the extracurricular activities, the career coaching, the soft skills, the how to participate in class, or we might also have some little sense of what we are going to see in class in the area of maybe finance, economics, and the likes. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Okay. So, first of all, we have not selected a date for your cohort for the Head Start program. So it can be Saturday, it can be Sunday. A date hasn't been selected for that at all yet. And secondly, yes, the entire Head Start program, most of it is hinged on preparing ahead of internships. So the Pre MBA opportunities that will be available between between March and June, yes, we are coaching you on preparing for those Pre MBA opportunities. Now, we are not doing anything that has to do with your finance, your economics. No, we're not. No, that means you want me to run an entire business school. You're going to pay me business school money for that.
Okay.
So no, I'm not doing that. It's going to be career based, and it's not really soft skill. Like I'm teaching you like the structure, like the technicalities of answering an interview. For example, you are going to learn about what are the competencies required for leadership, like how do you call out these competencies. So it's a whole teaching. I'm not teaching you it's not an aspire to perspire session. It's not. It's a very hard work session, right? But no, we are not going to get into finance or things like that. The only time we will get into finance consulting is when we are teaching like your finance technical cases, marketing technical cases, product management technical cases, and things like that. So yes, we would get into that, but I'm not teaching you like what's going to happen in school. The only similar thing is your career side and the case competition, which is going to be very similar to what you get in school too. But yes, that part. Caroline. Caroline.
Yes, okay, Tommy, thank you
Yeah.
so much for that amazing session. I mean, I can say for everyone that we all learned a lot. So I have a few questions, and my first question is, talking about how intensive the MBA program is, and I know you always mention something about giving back. So how does one balance, volunteering, in the MBA program? Is it that, okay, maybe for the first year, I focus on my books, and maybe for the second year, I start to join clubs and programs, to volunteer in different places to help give back to the community? What advice would you give, balancing it out, but at the same time ensuring that, my presence is felt within the MBA program?
Okay, good. Awesome. So yes, I want you to concentrate on everything career book-wise, but you will also be asked to join associations. And at the end of the day, it's prioritizing your time. It's basically prioritizing your time. So if you're going to use just 1 hour for a week for a particular association, that's fine. In fact, something that's very great about these associations are they're actually connected to your goals. So for example, consulting association, finance association, marketing association, like the marketing association I joined in my second year, helped me prepare for my Microsoft marketing interview. The consulting club helps people in consulting prepare for consulting. So it's not necessarily just normal volunteering. It's not just vibes. Like a lot of the associations are very, very committed to ensuring that you succeed in the MBA program. And if there is something else that you are doing that is not necessarily like helping you with maybe academia or like career wise, it's okay, it's fine. Like, I mean, we all have like times where we just want to relax. You just need to be able to apportion your time really, 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 really well and put that, okay, I'm only putting just like an hour or 2 hours a week at max for this opportunity. Yeah.
Okay. Then my second question now, for example, this Toego internship that you mentioned, and I know you said it's for finance
It's
personnel.
finance,
So
yes.
how do I know which is it based on my specialization in the MBA program, or like anybody that is entering into the MBA program now can apply for this Toego? So how do I know the kind of internships to apply for? Is it that, if I have a marketing specialization, I have to apply for marketing internships? Or if I'm doing the general MBA, I can just apply for any internship like that?
So I always say like spread your tentacles wide, right? So
Yeah.
please feel free to apply to the Toego Fellowship, but even if you're not a finance person, so far you have an interest in finance, what's the worst that would happen? You get rejected. That's not the end of the world, right? Especially if you are a diverse candidate or you are an international student or you're a candidate that is moving from maybe a space that is not very popular, or you are moving from maybe you used to be maybe a nurse or a social worker and you are trying to get into something totally different, I would say you should spread your wings wide. Don't try to put yourself in buckets, because putting yourself in buckets can be really, really not good for you as an MBA. I mean, you're coming to the MBA program to get as much opportunities as possible. So I would say, please go ahead and apply wide. And in the Head Start program, we'll be teaching you the strategies of broad application and focus application, because I mean, I know how difficult it is for you to just apply wide and then network wide. It's almost impossible to do that. And that's why there's going to be like a huge balance. And we're going to teach you the balance between like your focus and your broad. So you know, okay, what do I spend 80% of my time on and what do I spend 20% of my time on?
Okay, that's awesome. Then finally, is there an installment payment option for the Head Start program?
Yes, we'll be providing that information once we send the email out and we agree on the pricing. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Tim.
Yeah. Hi, Beth.
Hi. I just wanted to say I did the Forte MBA launch program already.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what kind of overlap there is between Head Start and MBA launch, those similarities and differences.
Yeah. So for the Forte MBA launch that I did, I believe that is for you getting into the business school. So that would fall under the category of our MBA coaching, graduate admissions coaching, which is different from the career aspect of you landing a job and preparing yourself ahead of getting into school. So that's the difference. So, I mean, the Forte MBA launch focuses on or is similar to our graduate admissions package, and the Head Start program is a different part, which is for career development and preparing yourself ahead of getting into business school in the fall.
Okay, so very complimentary program.
Yes,
You would
yes.
say. Okay. And then I was also wondering, this is a new space for me. I'm not coming from the business world at all. This is going to be a career transition. I know you're saying the internships occur between May and August. How long are they typically? Is there still any time off for being able to do other work during the summer?
So they're typically 12 weeks, right?
Okay.
There are some companies that are able to do between eight and 10, depending, but most of the internship programs are 12 weeks.
Okay.
And the reality is there isn't so much time. Actually, a lot of the people that I know, after their internship, they get just like a week, or their internship ends in February and they're in school on Tuesday. So for most people, no. But I would say within the entire summer, maybe they get 1 or 2 weeks at most, depending. But for the people that have just 8 weeks internships, they're able to, at least they get like at least 4 weeks, either at the beginning or at the end, or split to 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Ben. Adebukola.
Hi, Hanu. Thank you so much for the
Hi.
session. My question is for people that are going into the 1 year MBA program, because it seems like the bulk of the information today was for people that are going into the 2 years, because those are the ones that have the summer internships. How do you
Yes.
prepare for Pre MBA opportunities and CPT training for the 1 year program? Like, what advice would you give? And the program is
There's no
starting in May.
CPT. There's no CPT training. I'm not doing any CPT training. CPT and OPT are very, they're very work authorization terms. So I don't go into that at all. So for you, since you're a full-time person, you can attend the Head Start program, and that will prepare you ahead of full-time opportunities. We do have something called the Refresh program, which is for people that have finished their first years, that didn't get good internships, and are trying to prepare themselves way in advance. But for you, I will still say go for the Head Start program. There are no Pre MBA opportunities for you at all, for the most
Right.
part, because most Pre MBA opportunities are internships, right, and
Yeah.
fellowships. But there are full-time positions and full-time opportunities. And the full-time opportunities are not as many as the internship opportunities. So you have to work twice as hard as your peers who are going for 2 year programs, because you have that one chance. So I would say that everything that is taught in the Head Start program still covers you. It's just that you're going to be looking for different types of jobs. So instead of you saying, for example, Adobe MBA intern, you'll be looking for Adobe full-time 2026. That's just the only difference, right? And for a lot of like the consulting, now you might not be able to apply to Bainbase, BCG Unlock, McKinsey Inspire, etc. But all of the networking that you will be doing, that will be taught in class, you still have to do the same networking if you want to get a shot at getting a McKinsey or a Bainbase, or a McKinsey or a Bain or a BCG interview for your full time, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Got it. Thank you.
All right. Ayo A. You are on mute if you're talking. Yeah. I can't hear you. Okay, so I don't know. Ayo raised his hand. He's probably not here. So Sola Jeje. Oh, okay. So Ayo, type your question in the chat box. So Busola.
Yeah. Yeah, hi, Anu. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for this session. It's been really interesting, and I've learned a lot of things. So my first question was how people should approach sort of like recruiting for industries that aren't as popular as consulting, investment banking, big tech, that tend to have like structured opportunities. There tends to be, pre MBA opportunities. So if you're recruiting for something that there is like no pre MBA internship opportunities, but at least you can scout for something in the summer. Like, how would you advise someone to like go ahead? Like, should we start networking with people in like these industries, like well ahead of 2026? So that's my first question. My second question was for the Head Start program. Would there be like a focus on the more traditional recruiting industries, or is there like, you know, is it like a generalist program where whatever industries you are recruiting for, whether it's, I don't know, aerospace engineering, you will still find some value in participating in the program? So yeah, those are my two questions. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll start from the back, and I'm going to be very, very objective. I don't know anything about aerospace engineering, so I will not be teaching aerospace engineering at all. But the reality is actually for most of the companies, they don't have pre-MBA opportunities. No, pre-MBA opportunities is very consulting, investment banking, and
Yeah.
even the big tech is half and half. So the Head Start program does prepare you for pre-MBA opportunities, but pre-MBA opportunities is one of the things that we prepare you for, not what the entire program is all about. It's all about you landing early internships, which a lot of companies actually do have. So that's why people release a lot of their positions on time. So we have June, July, August, companies already have their internship positions already posted. So how are you prepared ahead of those opportunities being posted? So that's what we prepare you for. Behavioral interview is something that you will get irrespective of the company that you are applying to. You would always have a behavioral interview. So those are the things that will prepare you for. So if you're thinking about, oh, does the STAT covered like generalists? Yes, it does. And the reason why we put consulting, I actually put like a consulting prep session within the Head Start is I really do like not just because people get into consulting. No, consulting is like a hard space, but you being prepared for consulting prepares you for other roles because it helps you with your structure, right? So that's why consulting is a really key part. Consulting cases are actually a really key part because it helps you with the structure, it helps you with the terminologies, it helps you with a whole lot of things that you even learn in marketing and strategy in your business school. It's going to be taught in the consulting class. Right. So it's not all about consulting and banking, generalist programs. Everybody actually does get a lot of benefits. How many people consulting and banking are going to take? Just very few people. Most people are in other types of like internship programs, Riot Games, Amgen, name it, biotech, all sort of opportunities are available, and the ESA program covers broadly, not just that. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go through I know we are like 13 minutes over time. I really apologize. I'm just going to go through the chat and answer all of the questions. Okay. Okay. Okay, so indication of the price. Yes, you will get an indication of the price. Trust me, overall, don't worry. It's not gonna knock you off your feet. I'm nice. Like we're very demure in our consulting, so just trust us on that. We're trying to finalize the price, especially like payment options, because you know how things can be challenging for different people. So once we have that, we'll share with you. Then so Toigo, so you said Toigo is a fellowship, it's not a company. Toigo fellowship program is a fellowship, it's not a company. Because Mario said, how do we know if Toigo falls for international student? It's a fellowship program. It's just like saying, oh, Tatanari is doing like a fellowship program to prepare people for banking, for example. And then Tatanari is partnering with different banks. But because we have a very strong reputation for partnering with different banks, if you apply to us, we prepare you, we teach you, things like that. We get you into like the stream, the recruiting stream. We have recruiters from different banks come and look at your resume. So something like that. That's what it's about. It's not a company that files for people, right? So I think we already went through the requirement. So the list of the program, the schools I will partner with, if you think that the school you've been admitted to partners with Tatana Consulting, just send me an email and I will let you know yes or no. If they don't, why not? We can go pitch to them. That would be a great opportunity. So right now, I don't have all of the list. I can't tell you this is the list right now, as of today. But if you tell me the name of your school, I can tell you yes or no. Outside. So I know we have sent out the link to the Pre MBA opportunities list. Then does the career path I indicated that I was interested in when I applied for my MBA influence? No, it does not. No, it does not. People change their minds all the time now, so it's fine. Don't worry about that. It does not mean it doesn't. Now, we have for some of you, I know you'll be requiring student loans to supplement your application or to supplement your scholarships or funding. Technical Consulting has a partnership with Empower. So we have our Empower UTM link that has been included in the chat, and we're able to help you with questions regarding your Empower application. Right now, Empower is offering 9.99% APR before the end of January if you lock in your application. Even if you have not gotten admitted to school and you just want to lock in the rate, please go ahead and use our link and apply. And if you have any specific questions on using the link, feel free to also book a session and a consultant will walk you through how to actually do your Empower application. Do all Pre MBA opportunities require a GMAT on GRE? No, they don't. So it depends on the company and it depends per year. There have been years where the companies have asked for your GMAT or your GRE score. There have been years where they have not asked. You cannot know till you start the application process. What are internship opportunities for entrepreneurs? So, well, I would say there's something specific like internship opportunities for entrepreneurs. It's how you're able to tell your story, right? As an entrepreneur, what has been your focus area? Yes, you're the owner of the company, but have you focused a whole lot on finance? Have you focused a whole lot on marketing? Have you done strategy and operations? If you focus a whole lot on finance, for example, then you would be positioning yourself for like finance manager, senior finance analyst, and those kind of roles. If you've done strategy, or if you have done majorly operations, or if you've done marketing, those are also the roles that you position yourself for. But I'll say as an entrepreneur, you can position yourself for a whole lot of things because you have done a whole lot of things. And one of the things that we teach in the Head Start program is, except if you really, really like, even though a lot of students really, really want to do one thing, I always tell them that you don't know what you don't know. And how can you hate what you haven't experienced? I did not have a marketing experience, and I've been at Microsoft for almost 6 years. I don't have a technical product management experience. I studied accounting in school. I worked at PwC, and my first role after MBA was marketing. And my second role was technical product management. So what if I had said, oh, I only want to do finance? I will be limiting myself and be limiting the opportunities that are actually ahead in front of me. So I always tell students, please do not limit yourself at all. You don't know. You can't hate what you haven't really experienced. So will the recording be available for this session? Yes, the recording would be available. Talk ASU, What You All in Berkeley has. I'm so sorry, none of these schools. But I mean, you could go pitch to your admissions team. Happy to speak to them, but none of these schools right now. So yes, you have to do this on your own. Hopefully in the next couple of years, next couple of months, we'll probably be partnering with these schools. Who knows? Yes, you get an email once the video is available. And Minnesota, no, not yet. But I'm hoping in the next, maybe by next cycle, we would be partnering with more schools on Pre MBA opportunities. This session has gone way, way, way longer. And I do appreciate you all staying back. We have included the links to everything in the chat, but for everybody that registered for the session, you are going to be getting the complete link to everything. So don't worry if you missed out any information. You get the link. Please send emails. We're happy to answer. And we wish you the very best of your week. If you're in the United States and you're having tomorrow off like me, please try to rest and maybe just take time out to watch a movie or something. And I will be resting tomorrow. But thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your week and happy Sunday.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you so much as well. Have a wonderful weekend. And
Thank
happy Martin
you.
Luther King Day tomorrow too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.